and welcome back to another Cake Life vlog. It is a busy, hard week this week. We are already on Wednesday and I'll give you a rundown of what is coming up in this vlog. So I have two wedding cakes this week. One is a black gothic themed wedding cake and the other is the complete opposite end of the spectrum and is a 3-tier, very clean white cake with orchids. The weather is extremely hot. It gets to about 26. And the good news is, from the last vlog, I managed to get hold of an aircon unit. The aircon unit that I was looking for that was out of stock everywhere, I finally got my hands on one. The bad news doesn't arrive until next week. So it's not going to help me this week, but I have all my windows open and I've got my fan going, so I apologise for any noise. And there's lots of cars outside, but you gotta do what you gotta do. First things first, ganache. So I use dark chocolate ganache. A couple of reasons for this. Dark chocolate is the cheapest to buy in terms of how much you need for the ratio, because the ratio is only 2 parts chocolate to 1 part cream. So if you think about milk chocolate or white chocolate that has to be 3 parts chocolate, you're actually using more chocolate in the ratio, which then makes it more expensive. So 1, dark chocolate is the cheapest to make. 2, it is the easiest to make. 3, it is the last one to melt out of the 3. Dark chocolate withstands heat better than the other 2. And also on a hot day or a hot week, you can up your ratios for all your chocolates. So white chocolate and milk chocolate, usually a ratio of like 3 to 1 part cream. Up that to 4 parts chocolate to cream, and dark chocolate ganache is 2 to 1 ratio, up that to 3 parts chocolate, 1 to 1 part cream, if you think your chocolate is going to melt. So I've just popped my cream in a bowl, I'm measuring it, this comes to 529, so now I need to add my chocolate. I buy huge sacks at a time, just because I make so much of it. It makes sense for me to buy it in huge sacks. You can buy little bars of the dark chocolate from the supermarket, but it would take me too long to chop all that up. By the time I've chopped all that up, I may as well have just bought a huge bag, save a bit of time. But as we know, chocolate is getting more and more expensive, which is a shame because ganache is really good for hot weather and keeping your cakes nice and stable. Right, I'm gonna pop this in the microwave now until it's all melted together. If you would like to know what chocolate I use and what suppliers I use, I have a handy suppliers list up in the BRIGADE and you can get access to that from £3.50 a month. And you can ask any questions you want and I will answer them. But the flavour of the week this week is black cherry. So one of the entire wedding cakes is full black cherry from top to bottom. Not complaining, it is one of my favourite flavours and I get to eat the offcuts. And there's also a black cherry tier in the other cake. So I went and raided Asda's shelves last night and bought a full crate of this black cherry jam, which is one of my favourites. This was about £10. No, £12 I think this was, £12 a crate. But I'm a little bit behind. One of the cakes is being collected on Friday and one of them is being delivered on a Saturday. So I'm just gonna crack on and I'll pick a camera up once you've charged up a little bit. It is now 3 PM in the afternoon. It is the height of the heat for the day. Usually between like 1 and 5 PM it hits its peak. It is now too hot, I am sweating. But I have 2 cakes covered in sugar paste, which is good, and 1 sitting in ganache because I'm going to cover that differently because that's got ruffles on the bottom. It is that hot that I picked out a wipe just to wipe something down, put it on one side, walked across the kitchen to get something, did something else, went to pick the wipe back up and the wipe was completely bone dry. It had dried it out. My sugar paste, I rip off blocks ready for when I want to need it, and I had a block spare and it had been sitting there and all I did was cover one of the cakes. I went to pick the block up and it was all dried, so crumbly, elephant skin. Yeah, it's really, really warm today. But whilst I just have a little rest now that I've got the cakes covered because it's too hot to do anything else, I have something very exciting to show you that's only arrived yesterday. Well, it's exciting for me, but maybe not for you. But I have lots of these little prints. Well, they're not prints, I don't really know what to call them because they're not quite postcards because they don't have the lines on the back, but they're not like art prints either. They're kind of just like in between. And these are my little cupcake drawings that I did last year. I did one for every single month. I haven't got them all as cards, I just got a few of my favourites and a few what other people said they were favourites. So they're based on Disney sidekicks, so they're not like the main characters, but the characters that feature in the film that are just like alongside the main characters. So this one is my Up cupcake. If you're wondering why it doesn't look too much like Doug, is because they're all done in my own like cute chunky style. So this is a stylized Doug in a Up themed cupcake. So the cupcake case is the colours of the house, and then we've got these little balloon type sprinkles and the grape soda badge. Then we've got one for Brave, which is Merida. So the cupcake is themed on like Merida's hair. It's a fluffy orange cupcake with her 3 bear brothers who like to steal tasty buns. Got one of her arrows there as well, and the will-o'-the-wisps. This one is themed on Encanto. So we have a Mirabelle style cupcake case with Isabella's vines wrapped around it. We've got the candle there and the yellow butterfly and a capybara. Of course it had to be a capybara wearing Mirabelle's glasses. We've got another Brave one there and another Doug. Oh, we've got a different one here. So this one's Nightmare Before Christmas. So of course we featured Zero instead. So we've got Jack's kind of bow tie and his stripy suit. We've got Oogie Boogie style buttercream with little pumpkins on there and a slimy black icing on the top, and Jack's little tower up there. And then the last one is the Cheshire Cat. So this is Alice in Wonderland themed cupcake. Sometimes I put them in cups. So this one's in a cup because it's like a Mad Hatter's tea party, so that would explain why I've used a cup instead of a cupcake case. And we have the Cheshire Cat, the Queen of Hearts hearts, and a little pocket watch. So I have done a lot more than this. I've just in the last vlog I showed you the Pascal one. So I have 12 in total, but like I said, I've only got like 5 different ones on these cards. And then the rest of the box is filled with these new little notepads. So I have these notepads anyway. I just have to pull this one out of my drawer, the one that doesn't have any writing on it. I've got 2 more in my drawer there with the writing on. But this is my Cheshire Cat version, which says "We're all mad here." It's a little A6 tearable sheet. I use these all the blooming time. Like I said, there's 2 more in my drawer there with scribbles on them, so I use them a heck of a lot. It's good just to jotting down things you need, like on the computer or on your phone, just to make sure you don't forget them. And this is my new version, which I went with Merida. She's not all that popular, but I love Merida. And I specifically love the song as well from Brave. So this is one of the lines from the song Chase the Wind and Touch the Sky. I love that song. I didn't realise though, I've actually ordered 100. Why did I order 100? I think I just got carried away. I was putting stuff in my basket and I didn't realise that I've ordered 100 of these notepads, and it's not even a popular princess. She's probably one of the least popular princesses, but I really like Merida. I think I've overestimated how many people also like Merida. So I hope they sell well. Even if you're just looking for a notepad to scribble on and you're not too bothered that it's Merida, please consider popping one in your basket. But I ordered them because I'm going to be doing a couple of stalls this year. Only have actually 2 booked in, but I'm hoping to get a few more booked in. And I wanted to take something other than chocolate, but it's still cake related, hence why all the doodles are cupcakes. So I still got cake stuff to take. But they will be available in my online shop if you can't get along to a stall. The link is always in the description box, so yes, grab one of those if you like them. Good morning, it is now Thursday. I am so tired today and I don't know why. I worked through yesterday. I made the decision to come back in late. So I came back in after tea and worked only till about 8:30. It was still very warm. I got as far as putting some ruffles on, but as you can tell it didn't all go to plan. The heat just obviously affects the sugar paste and obviously the ganache as well. So as I'm like trying to stick these ruffles into place, the actual ganache was going in as well. But I just wanted to come in late and get some more work done because this cake's actually leaving tomorrow. So I've got all day today to work on it. I'm going to try and get as much finished as I can. But I just woke up feeling like I needed another 5 hours in bed. It's just one of those days today, super sleepy. But I'm going to get myself a drink and we'll start the day, and here will be another montage. Right, it is now nearly 8 p.m. and I am struggling. I decided to come down and work again. I wanted to do another late night because even though it's not going till tomorrow afternoon, so technically I've got like all morning to work on it, I'm not delivering it, they're collecting it themselves. So I want to give it the best possible chance of setting. So the longer the sugar paste items and decorations are on the cake, the harder they will then set, and it will be safer for delivery because it's going to be another hot day tomorrow. I hope they've got aircon in their car. But delivering cakes is not an easy task. So I would always advise to try and get your cake decorated to deliver. The studio is a complete tip. It is like upside down. Ganache bowls, luster, offcuts, it's just chaos. This is as far as I've got so far. I have the ruffles on the bottom and the skulls. I have like the bodice, and these swirls are on the groom's jacket. So we've got like a nice little bit of a unique flair on this middle tier. And then we've got some lacy ornate detail on the top, and then I'm going to put 2 gold skulls, which I'm just working on now, and then I've got to do the flowers and feathers, and then it's pretty much done. So just another couple of hours I think, but my gosh, is it hot right now. It is now Friday morning and the cake is fully complete. I've just walked straight into the studio and picked the camera up because I did finish this last night before I went home. But we have our 2 gold skulls on the top with hat and like a kind of veil with feathers on. They wanted a little pop of purple, so we got that in with these like little berries hiding between the roses, and we obviously have these nice fluffy black feathers because they've got these on their table centerpieces, so it will all match. But I seriously need to have a reset of the studio today and clean it all up and tidy it because there are flowers everywhere. And I have another wedding cake to complete, which is still in its sponge cake form. So I've got a whole day to get a whole wedding cake finished. And this one's been collected today, so I'm going to email her in a second. I'm going to grab some pictures of it once I've got my lighting tent up, and see roughly what time she wants to come for it. But that's one down and one to go. I am still super tired this morning. I don't know why. I just wake up and I just want to stay in bed. I've had no energy for the last couple of days, and this morning is exactly the same. I'm so tired, but I'm going to put my music on, I'm going to have a clean up, get myself a Ribena and start work on this second wedding cake. It is another 9 p.m. finish. I'm not quite finished. I'm going to come in the morning and finish it off because I'll show you how far I've got. But it's all fully covered in its white coating. We have a little bit of texture on the bottom tier. This Rope Effect, we added this to the design because she sent me lots of pictures from her real wedding. She actually got wed abroad and they had like a hand fasting and it was like a rope effect that goes over their hands. So I said that'd be nice to bring in as a little feature because she wanted it all very clean and very white. So it was just a way to get some more detail of her actual wedding into her cake. We just have one lonely little orchid stuck on so far. I'm just waiting for the rest to dry. I did start sticking them on and then I realised they needed probably a little bit longer to set. So I'm going to leave these overnight to dry and then I'm going to come in the morning and stick them on with royal icing. And I have buds here on the side to go on as well. And then it'll be finished. Now, because she did get married abroad, the wedding is kind of like an evening party, so we're delivering this to the Lowry. And I don't have to be there till 2:15, so I do have a little bit of time in the morning, and then we'll be good to go. My Gothic cake got collected. It was supposed to go at 4 p.m, so we took it downstairs at 4 p.m, so I could set it on a table and then it could go straight into the car, but they'd got lost. Bless them. We're not the easiest place to find with the postcode. The postcode does tend to send you to various different buildings. But I sat downstairs for about an hour just in case they would show up, because it's one of those things that if I'd have started decorating this one, because I needed to cover this one, so if I started like rolling sugar paste out, you can always guarantee that that's when people would turn up. So we're just trying to like kind of minimize disruption. So I just sat downstairs, but after an hour, they still weren't here, so I thought, well, I really need to like start on this cake. So I came upstairs, managed to cover the middle tier, and I was just halfway covering through the top tier when they arrived. So I said, I'm really sorry, but can I come down in like 5 to 10 minutes because I'm right in the middle of something that I can't leave, because I've got like the top on and I needed to get the sides on, and if I'd have left the top would have crusted over and then it wouldn't have met the sides. So it's not something you can leave really, especially in this heat. So I was like, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to cover this cake and then I'll come down. But yeah, they'd got lost and they got stuck in traffic, so it was all good in the end. They arrived. He was super nervous to take it, bless him. He really didn't fancy having this cake on his knee or carrying it or taking it out of the box or anything, but hopefully that goes all well, because I told them like it's super fragile, but just go with the corners. If you were interested on how I deliver my cakes though, I do have a full video on how I deliver my cakes, which walks you through the entire process and why I do it the way I do. So I will leave that linked below. But now it is 9 p.m. I am going home. It is still super hot. Can we please stop having this really hot weather where it just doesn't cool down at 9 p.m? But yeah, you'll have seen Adam went home because obviously I was waiting for that Gothic cake collection. So Adam went home and made some burgers and brought a burger down for me. But now I'm going to go home. I'm going to have another drink. I have never drunk so much in my life. I think I'm like 80% Ribena at this point. My sweat will be Ribena because I've just drunk so much. But I will see you tomorrow morning for the delivery. I just texted to say that I was ready to be collected and Adam said, my limo is en route. So we delivered our wedding cake to the Lowry and was let in by the lovely Alex, who is the event coordinator for the weddings. Set that up, all that went fine. Nice cool room for a change. But there is some sort of festival on today. It's a Chinese dragon festival, but it's actually a boat race. The reason why we're hanging around and we haven't gone home is because Kai's actually here today looking around universities, so we thought we might as well have a little walk around until he's finished and then we can take him home. But we've stumbled across a boat race. I think we're right at the very start. They're all lined up here, I think, ready to start. They're off. It's a little bit noisy up here, but we are at the home of Coronation Street. We actually went for a tour here a couple of years ago and there's a little black gate down here where you enter. That's where some of the staff enter as well. And the street is behind there, so you can have a wander around Coronation Street and have lots of pictures taken. Home of ITV. We've also got BBC down here as well as CBeebies. And we are now back to makeup free Monday. Still so tired. So we picked Kai up from Salford, went home, had a lovely tea outside in the garden, and then Sunday, which was actually Father's Day as I was filming, we went to Alton Park. So it was just me and Adam. I had bought the tickets for Christmas. As you know, if you're a long time vlog watcher, I tend to buy lots of experiences, events and things as Christmas presents, and then we've got lots of things to look forward to throughout the year. So Alton Park was one of those, and the only reason I booked Alton Park, which is a racetrack, is because I couldn't get my hands on F1 tickets. I wasn't notified or emailed when the tickets went on sale. I wasn't even aware they'd gone on sale until I realised then that they'd sold out. So the only thing I could get my hands on was Alton Park, which isn't F1, it's touring car racing, but Adam likes most types of car racing, so Alton Park it was. And the day finally came round, so we had a little visit there. One thing I have noticed in the footage, which makes me laugh, is the helicopter. Obviously, as you know, helicopter blades go around really fast in order to make it fly, but when my camera's frame rate matches with the speed of the propellers, it kind of looks like they're going round in slow motion. So you're not seeing like the full speed, they just look like they're going around really slowly. But we took our little foldable chairs, we sat and watched a couple of races, we had a wander around the little marketplace bit they have. And then as we were coming home, we had a huge thunderstorm. Thunder, lightning, lots of rain, did the Father's Day rounds with the presents and cards and things, and came home and went to bed. And I am up this morning editing this vlog, need to give it an ending. I'm so behind with my work. I'm going to have a week off now in terms of vlogging because I have done a few vlogs back to back. So I'm going to catch up with all of my work this week. I have cake drawings to do, designs to draw up for couples. I have all my chocolate bar stock to make for my market that is at the end of this week. Not ready for it. But thank you very much for sticking with me and watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it and seeing the behind the scenes of the making of the cakes and deliveries of the cakes. And I hope to see you for the next one.